experience, quality, consistency, and the quickest turnaround times in the grading industry, we are proud to partner with SGC Grading. Check them out at www.gosgc.com.
Hi, I'm Danny Black.
And I'm John Newman.
Welcome to Card Mensches. Well, hello. Welcome to episode 36 of Card Mensches. I am Danny Black, and that is John Newman. What's going on, John?
Yo and howdy. How is everyone doing?
Welcome to this 80s card show. I think tonight's I think a fun one. I want a lot of input from the chat room, but we definitely want to talk about where to buy and sell cards and the marketplaces.
Yo and shalom. That should be the intro.
That is halfway patented. I'll call it halfway patented.
Yeah, but you gotta be 100%.
Real quick, Steven, I owe your response. I was checking with my wife. That's my bad. I know I owe your response. Sorry about that. So we're talking about online marketplaces, and one of the things I wanted to do, and I'm just going to let this twirl for a little bit, is who am I forgetting? How many places are there? And where do you guys like to buy and sell cards? And what makes a good marketplace? It's one thing just to say where we go, but why do we go there? What do we like about that marketplace? Maybe what would we design if we were designing our own marketplace? So these are my thoughts. Newman?
Well, I guess my first question, is like, what's the definition of a marketplace? Is Heritage Auction a marketplace? Or is it where you have to be able to buy it now type of price?
That's a fair question.
Because there are a lot of market, like every auction house in a sense is a marketplace. You can acquire cards there. You can sell your cards there.
Some of them have flat rate sales. Some of them have flat.
Yeah, I think that would be my definition of a marketplace. Like you could buy something 2 minutes after you log on to the site potentially.
So you're saying we're getting rid of Heritage?
Well, yeah, because you let Heritage in, it's like the Hall of Fame, right? You let Heritage in.
Next thing you know, there's Harold Baines sitting right next to you.
Yeah, and Leland's and Pristine, and I can go on with auction houses, right? Gray Flannel, and and so on and so on and so on. So I don't count auction houses. Now you can buy and sell on an auction site. And I'll sell Kate. Someone will say, "Well, John, eBay's an auction site," but they also have to buy it now. So I guess that's the deal. That's the tiebreaker, right?
This is a good question.
If they have to buy it now, then you can that counts.
Ruben wants to know if your LCS has a website. Is that a marketplace? I would say if it's nationally aimed, if it's aimed national.
Good question.
For the sake of the conversation, I think we're talking national. No?
Well, website's national. You can log on from Cambodia, and I don't know if they'll ship there, but
that might even make it international.
Yeah.
What's up, Orlando?
I'd leave eBay on there because they're and I know the deal that just happened and all that, but I take the auction houses, the strict auction houses off, and I'd leave eBay on there.
Well, I thought Golden, and maybe I'm wrong, and it's been a minute since I've been on there. I thought they did have some flat rate sales. I thought you could make a flat rate offer.
Well, does PWCC? I thought they did too.
Yeah, I have them on there.
So, all right, so they can stay. I guess that will be, for me, if you're asking me, if you can log on like right now during the show and buy something, and I'm not talking about all the auctions end tonight that have been running for 3 weeks. I'm talking like I can log on tonight and buy something tonight. And if it didn't sell tonight, I could come back tomorrow and buy that same card tomorrow. It's just like a buy it now sort of price. I think that's a marketplace. An auction house is you got to be the high bidder. And some will say, well, but they do have the buy it now prices or make an offer, right?
Right.
Make an offer and see if the seller takes it or counters. So,
all right. So you're convincing me to take Golden off until somebody can remind me for sure if they.
Here's one thing. There's not enough selling marketplaces.
Brian says usually marketplace implies that it's a platform with a lot of vendors that compete with each other. That the marketplace would imply that. I think in this case, we're talking about a single stall at the marketplace of the hobby.
Put up the list again, because I think you left someone off.
I'm sure I left a bunch off.
There's our guy Warren.
What's up, Warren?
Morning, sir. Is ComC on your list?
Yes, it is.
All right. I didn't notice it. I'm like, that's got to be on there. Yeah, whatnot. I'm sure we left somebody off. I don't know much about Veriswap. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't use that. My card posts, I know about them. I don't use all these. Beckett Marketplace for sure. I don't, but that just because I don't use them, doesn't mean.
Well, that's why I'm curious for people in the comments on what sites they do use. I almost said doo-doo.
Maybe someone has a site they really like. It's kind of a low key one, and they don't want to. It's like their little secret site. Maybe they don't want to it's their honey hole, and they're like, hey, I don't want 1 million people. Not that we have 1 million downloads, but I don't want a bunch of people finding out about this site. It's kind of my little
tell the truth. It's 500,000 downloads.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be inaccurate, so that's why I corrected myself.
All right. So, have you used eBay? Yes. PWCC.
Yes.
Yes. ComC.
Yes.
Whatnot?
I've been on it. I've never bought anything.
Have you ever been on buysportscards.com?
I checked it out. I went on the site, but I didn't do anything with it.
Dylan, are those the only two you use? I'd be curious because you have a very vast collection.
I know I know. I see him advertising. He has Whatnot sale.
I'm sorry.
I know Dylan likes Whatnot a lot. A lot of people do. Whatnot, I'm told, is like you really have to take it on the chin at first until you build up sort of a following, and then you should do a lot better.
Ruben says, I'm not scared, John. eBay, ComC, MySlab, 4 Sharp Corners. But 4 Sharp Corners, I thought it was an eBay power seller.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe they have their own separate site too, though. I don't. They do. I've never been on it.
Dylan says I was using MySlabs as well to sell. Well, not enough people were. I don't think so. Orlando saying hello to Mike Petty. Double D says I use everything to buy. Ha ha ha. Well, that's
well, yeah, that's something to talk about too. Like if you're looking for something, right? Ultimately, you're trying to get the best deal on it, right? You're trying to get it at the lowest price, right? So you shop around. When I've tried to buy my Jackie rookie, I looked, I checked everywhere. I didn't just get one site in mind. It wound up being an eBay purchase, but I was looking for that on auction house sites. I bid on auction house auctions, just didn't win it. So I think when you're buying, I think when you're buying, you use more sites, and I think when you're selling, you're more condensed. I'm only listing on these. I think most people would agree with that assessment.
And guess what I just learned? 4 Sharp Corners has its own site, and it's awesome, Dylan says.
See, we learned this is what I say, Daddy. You
That's
learn if you're not learning something every day in a hobby, you're not active, or you're not open minded, or you're not trying.
Well, I think we picked a topic here, and if we're going to be honest with each other and with the audience, it's not our strength. We're not high end online power sellers.
Speak for yourself. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do sell online, but I do a lot more sales at shows that I set up at.
But you basically use eBay. Can I say that?
Yeah, I would say eBay's one. What is a good question? What would be my number two in terms of sales? eBay is one. I'd probably say ComC or slash Sport Lots. Sport Lots, I make a lot of like really low amount sales. You know what I mean? 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, $2, few bucks. eBay, some of the bigger cards, and ComC, some are bigger cards. So I'll go. For me, it's for selling. It's eBay and then ComC. But I'm not Dr. Jim on ComC. He's a ComC power seller. So
Mike Petty says
right.
they don't have auctions on Ford trimmed corners, though.
They do. That's on the dark web.
Yeah, good evening, gents. Good evening, Dan. Where's Mike Petty? He's at home drinking. Ruben thinks we need a new rule in our show that it should be a drink every time John mentions Jackie Robinson or Danny mentions Mo Burger.
Well, listen, I'll take one on the chin for everybody else right here. Tough life.
Cheers. Oh, here's an obvious one. Mookie.
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah, I bought stuff off Facebook.
That's a huge one.
Yep. Facebook groups. You got the marketplace. Macari is another one you could have probably added out here. I know for some it's not a viable option, but I have a friend that buys a ton of cards on Macari. He's always like texting me, "Hey, I picked this up on Macari." I don't use it, but I guess it's viable. He's getting.
I'd be curious if anybody else ever used that or Etsy.
Etsy is more like art to me. I look at it as an arts and crafts type of site. Well, if Temu or Temu starts selling cards, I could be in trouble.
Well, or Alibaba.
You probably if Temu starts selling cards, you're probably not going to be real ones. Let's just put it that way. Get some fake Jordans.
Some people are saying they're not seeing each other on the chat. You should be able to see from any of the streams. And I put it on there so you can see all the streams it's on. Just to make sure everybody can see each other. We've got a lot of people in here, and you guys are the best, so just want to make sure.
Yeah, the best chat room. I will say this. Dr. Jim was on last episode a couple of weeks ago. He was impressed with the chat room. We told him, and then he was here, and he saw it, and he knows a lot of people, from Hobby Hotline chat room, but I think he was impressed.
Oh,
well, he said as much.
By the way, Mike Petty is setting up free drinks at the bar. Just use codename Petty. Don't tell anyone. It's on the down low.
As if anyone wants a drink. Did I tell you about Jackie Robinson?
Right. Cheers.
Yeah. That is a good game, though. I like it.
Good thing I'm on water. I'm staying hydrated.
I'm not.
I ran out of soda. That was a big fail tonight. Cheers. There we go. Yep, everybody.
This is like Cheers, right? If you remember the show Cheers, everyone knew each other. It was like, everyone had their spot at the bar. This is sort of like the hobby version, I like to think.
Steven says we're the chat Mensches. We've been called worse.
Yeah, there were the chat matches. I like
I've been called worse.
Lady Gaga calls her fans little monsters. so that we could call them the chat Mensches.
So what I'm not hearing is what sites are people buying from as much?
Well, I think
Is
it's
it
what
just
I said. Wherever you get the best deal, I think when you're looking for a particular card, whatever that card may be, 4 figures, 2 figures,
but
cheap card,
what site are you
you're
going
trying
to
to get
first
the
if you're
best deal.
buying? Be honest. What site are you going to first
Well,
if you're
you're
buying?
asking me, or you're just
Yeah,
asking in general?
you.
I think eBay. I think I'm not gonna, and I don't love eBay. Like I could list 10 things I don't like, and I can list 10 things I do like. But listen, they are kind of the number one marketplace, or right there, and arguably the number one marketplace. So I think you go there first because depending on the card, you're probably gonna find it there most likely, at least one copy. You know what I mean? Unless it's something really super hard to find.
I will say I find myself going to ComC more often.
Really? See, I
They're growing.
do, but not. It's not out. It's. I sell more than I buy on ComC. It's probably close because I'm not selling a ton on ComC. But here's
Mike,
a confession. You want?
yeah.
Oh no, I take that back. I was going to confess something, and then I remembered it's not true. But I was what I was going to say.
You were not at the
And
grassy knoll.
No, that's
Okay.
not true. What I was going to say is I never won an item from an auction house, but that actually is not true.
That's not true.
Thanks to you, I won the Hank Aaron rookie from PWCC auctions. But I'll go back and rescind what I was going to say. I've only won one lot off a auction house site, but I bid quite a bit. I've bid, so it's not for lack of bidding. I just only won one time.
But it was a good errand.
It's behind me, and I like it. Don't. That's not one of the drinking keys. So if you went and drank after that, you did that of your own accord.
I find a ton of $50 cards on eBay for $400.
Some of those might be mine. I'm not gonna lie.
ComC is the devil's playground. You just keep loading up more and more funds. Dylan, you're not wrong, but if you spend all your funds, it solves that problem.
You know what I don't like about ComC is number one, what it costs, like to list the card right off the bat before you even sell it.
Well, that's all. Yeah.
And then, when you cash out, they take like 15%. They get you up front, they get you coming in the door, and they get you even. They kick your butt both ways.
And they don't give you a kiss.
No, nothing. I almost said something that wouldn't have been appropriate.
Orlando says I sell on ComC and buy some there also from my sales, waiting on shipping that's slow. Yes.
Yeah, they have shows, slow shipping, the fees they get you on, like if you want to take your money out, they get you that way. I know they do specials with intakes, but what is it, 50 cents a card now? Now you got to be careful what you submit. Shipping, like Orlando said, when I do some like sub cards to ComC, it's usually at the National, and I'll bring like a 400, 500, 600 count box and hand it to them in person. That way you don't have to pay the shipping on top of it. Sometimes at the National they'll do like a discount on intake cards too. So
I dropped off a couple hundred last year.
Yeah.
And I think they just got listed.
I know it's not on the list. I know they've really taken a step back. Brandon Steiner just bought the company, trying to build them back up again. Star Stock is a marketplace. I know it's probably on the bottom of comparatively to this list, but they're trying to get going again. It's tough, man. I don't know if all of these survive. Maybe Star Stock tries and doesn't make it. And there's new ones coming out. It seems like I get an email, hey, come check out our new selling platform, right? So there's new ones every day. Selling platforms and grading card companies.
Barry, shout out. He actually did his comment in rhyme, which I appreciate the extra effort. Tell me why I need another pet rock. Tell me why I got that elf alarm clock. Tell me why I bid on Shatner's old toupee. They had it on eBay. By Barry.
They probably did have it on eBay.
That was beautiful. That's the art segment of our
I got to
show.
answer this question. Do I ask for PTO? No, I go to work, which is at school, but I do wear, and you'll probably see it on social media, I'll wear something Jackie related and post about it.
Shout out to Weird Al. Absolutely.
So yeah, I don't do load management at work. I actually play. I go in and I get in there and work.
Warren's gonna buy us cocktails.
There you go.
Well, you tell him where he can go to buy us cocktails. You can share that.
I'm a little late to this joke.
No, we're gonna be in the same place.
Cleveland.
Well, before that.
Oh, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Baltimore.
Oh, I thought we were keeping that a secret.
That's why I said to you. Oh, Drinking John is the best John, everybody.
Jackie, I don't know about that.
Jackie.
I'm a one drink a show guy, so that's it.
Are the Mensches going to Strongsville?
I'm not.
One half of the Mensches is planning on it, but some family stuff is to be determined.
I like Ruben's line about load man.
Load management by John's wife. Hey-o!
She tries. I'll just say that.
Well, when Tony Saragusa sacked Rich Gannon in the AFC Championship game, Gannon complained and wanted a flag, and Tony Saragusa said he does that twice a week to his wife, and she doesn't complain at all.
He was a good. I'm not obviously being a Steeler fan. I'm not a Ravens lover, obviously, but there was a little warm spot in my heart for Tony Siragusa, just the person. You know, he was a funny guy and he had fun, and he was doing that show on kind of man cave show after his career was over that I did watch, and when he passed away, I was definitely felt I was sad about it. So.
Oh man, I was in a chat room by myself. Hi guys. All right, we got to figure this out. Everybody, type in the chat what chat room you're in. We're going to start limiting how many channels we put this on. We want you guys all to be able to see each other. So let us know what chat room you're in.
I know it's too bad. It's 2024. You think that I know we got some great technology. You think the technology would be advanced enough that no matter where you're watching or listening to this, you could type in and everyone would see it. I don't think that's asking for the moon.
I don't get that either, and because we see all the comments, right? So everybody in Hobby News Daily can see each other. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who runs that site, but kudos to that guy.
But I'm gonna sit up a little taller.
You want me to do Rich Klein?
No, you need the box.
We love Rich, by the way, so don't take that any other way.
Dylan said
I do that in front of him, so it's not like I'm doing it when he's.
I'm sorry. This is fantastic.
There's one.
Dylan likes you better, so here's
us. That's because I'm. Listen, neither one of us are good looking, but I'm the lesser of two evils, I guess is what
that. Whoa! Easy there. The lesser of two evils. I think I'm pretty darn handsome. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll sit this one out.
Well, now I feel bad that
I guess I'm good good enough looking to be married 25 years, or maybe that's reverse psychology. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like I said the other day, it's only impressive as long as it's the same person. If it's 25 women 1 year each, it's not impressive.
That would be crazy. That person should, if that person is real and it exists, and it's not Elizabeth Taylor who's passed away, that person should be getting invited to the White House.
Ha ha, Veritech drink.
Yeah.
Definitely on the list.
I tell you what, I was too young to drink that day, but had I been of age, it might have been a few down the hatches after that game. That was not, that was a little humble. I definitely ate some humble pie that day because I was 16-0 on the mound before that game.
I'd like you to read Ruben's
No, I didn't
comment.
drink. I ate humble pie for sure.
I'd like you to read Ruben's comment.
Sorry, John. I think I could handle Danny more than you since you're a mountain of a man. If I batted, I don't know if that's a compliment. I'll take it as
Wait,
one.
I'll read this one. Warren says, "John, you're devastatingly handsome, but I'm half in the bag."
It's like, you ever seen that picture? It's made the rounds.
Oh,
I don't know.
Danny too. Oops.
There's a picture. It's an old lady, and then if you turn it upside down. It's a younger looking lady that looks pretty good. So like and then you do this. It's like after 10 beers, or
right.
It's this, and then after 10 beers, it's the good looking lady. Maybe that's how I am.
I think our chat room's starting to get a reputation. Warden, I'm getting there also. The typos are increasing as the night goes on here. Have we lost the rails on this topic here?
No. I mean, we as we sometimes do, we go off the rails. We can bring it back on, but
no.
I think we lead? What is Veriswap? I'm gonna self confess. I've heard of it. I've just never used it. I've never been there. I know it seems to be talked about a little bit more. Is anyone familiar with it more so than I am? Because
if you have your list of inventory and I have my list of inventory, I can propose a trade to you. I can include cash. I can request cash as part of the trade. And it's set up to help ease trades.
But does that doesn't sound like a marketplace? It makes them sound like a mediator, almost like.
But there's cash involved, and it's it's similar to eBay, but with trading, I guess.
Is your stuff listed there, or do I have to see your inventory on another site? We go there.
No. It's all in Veriswap.
Okay, then it is. Can you buy there? It's only for, as the name implies, swapping. It's only for trading cards.
That's a fair question. I always assumed you would just trade cash, and that's the purchase.
Yeah. Is anyone in the chat room like it, use it, know about it? Just want me to say Jackie Robinson so you could take another shot? I don't know.
Mike, there may be a live stream going on, and that is one of my favorite hotels in the country. So I take some offense to that. There's a very, very fine fleece.
Fleece or fleas? He said flea. You said fleece. He said flea.
No,
They're two different things.
Flea.
Yeah.
Orlando says I can. Is
all
that
right? Yeah. Well, I don't. I don't know anything about it other than it exists, and I've seen ads, and people talk about it. I'm just not.
I'd like to hear more people use Veriswap. Mike Petty says it sounds like a harebrained idea. You know what?
If we trade on Veriswap, if we trade on Veriswap and I don't send my end of the deal, do they get involved? I mean, because you take the word verify, and swap, they're verified. Do you send it to like a third party? You send it to them, and then they, do we send me and you are traded, Danny? So do we send the cards to Veriswap, and then they send it to us, so we get both? Is that how it works?
I don't know. I only messed around with it a little while ago.
I've never been on the site, and we learned a few things tonight. Four Sharp Corners has their own dedicated platform besides a commission, or a selling on eBay. So what are we looking at here?
This is Veriswap. And so what card do you want to look for? Let's look for some Jackson.
Yeah, put Jack's Holiday. You thought I was going somewhere else. Yeah. Did he get a hit yet?
No.
Yeah, rough start. The kid's 20 years old.
And you can check comps on eBay. Oh. That's Veriswap, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm one of those guys.
This is
52 Jackson Robertson.
Drink.
No, it's spelled wrong. Here's my thing. There's a lot of selling, but we forgot some, not on purpose, right? There's some smaller ones. There's some upstarts. I get an email every other day from a buying or a selling platform that wants to come on Sports Card Nation and talk about it. I don't know. They're not all going to make it. I know that much. And I don't root against people, but there's just no way all of them are going to. I don't know what their overheads are, their operating costs, but
And there's more coming.
Yeah, there is more coming.
That's the amazing thing.
But there's a better question: when all the smoke clears, will there be more grading companies or more selling platforms? Because there's a new grading card company every day as well.
Mike, and to clarify, I believe it's a Best Western Plus. I just want to get that clear for the record. Best Western Plus is a couple less fleas.
Well, you only, what my rule on hotels is, right? It's just got to have a warm shower, clean sheets, no bugs. Like, I'm going to be in it if I'm traveling for a hobby related event. I'm really only in the hotel for the most part to sleep and take a shower.
Yeah, you're out and about.
Yeah, like when I come in, I'm usually winding down, and it's get ready for the next day kind of mentality. So,
see, I like a midday from the National. Go change the clothes, refresh, get ready for the second part of the day.
The only time I've ever done that was my first National, which was in Chicago. I don't know if it was 17 or 18. It might have been 18. And I stayed with Marlon Carlson. Some might know Sparty Hawk Cachet, good friend of mine. And he's like, "Hey man, I'm staying in the hotel. What is it? The Sheraton that's connected to the Donald Stevens Convention Center." And that was the only time that I went back to the room and took a power nap for 2 or 3 hours, and then went back to the show. And I remember what put me to sleep. There was a movie, I turned on the TV, and it was the Rock movie with all the monsters fighting each other. I don't even remember what it was called.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, that movie put me to sleep. I set my alarm on my cell phone for a couple hours. It went off, and then I went back to the show. And that is just a great story that you can tell your grandkids someday.
Orlando says, "I'm rooming with Rocket Rick. Easy to sleep once he starts talking."
Well, listen, I'm a snorer. Danny can attest to that. So, no, it wasn't Scorpion King. Man, now it's bugging me. Oh, man, I don't know. But it was all different monsters. It was modern. It was kind of set in modern times, but these things come to and they're battling each other, and it was okay. Like it wasn't terrible. It just I did fall asleep.
Jackson Holiday did not get a hit again.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just keeping you
So
updated.
who's not starting that he's starting for now? Like when he got
Tony
called
Kemp.
up?
They cut Tony Kemp,
Mm.
who was very gracious. He tweeted that he remembered when he was at Vanderbilt that Matt's brother was the coach and Jackson came as a kid and said, "Go get him, kid," or something like that. It was very touching.
Yeah.
I hope Tony Kemp gets picked up. Dylan, always at the party house. Dylan, are you coming in for any shows this year?
Yeah, listen, man. If he says no, I can't blame him, man. Hawaii, like
I know. That's why I was wondering.
even last year, when he told me like the stuff to get from Hawaii to to the national.
Warren, we will definitely be at the national.
Yeah, we've already got itinerary set, and
Dylan making it to the national. Way to go, Dylan. Like John said, that's a little bit more for you than for the rest of us.
I give him credit, man. But he loves the hop. I don't have to. It comes out of his pores. He's super passionate, and I'm glad he's. I always say, like, once you go to one, it's like tattoos. For those that have like you get one, and then it's addicting, right? You go to one, and you want to go to them all. So,
but Dylan strikes me as also he's there for the people as much as the cards.
Yeah, I think everyone. I don't want to say everyone. I think a high percentage of the people that are at the national, it's the stuff. Meeting your friends that you see that one time a year, that 1 week a year, right? It's during the show, it's after the show, going to dinner, a trade night, whatever the event, YouTube get together, whatever the event's called, right? The show ends, but the day doesn't, and that's the beauty of the national. And God willing, I'll try to be at the rest of them that I have left to go to. I got my, for as long as I've been in the hobby, I didn't go to the first national. I think it was 2018. So, to me, it was always just a big show that was going to cost me a little chunk of change to go to. And then you go to your first one. And even the first one I went to, Danny, that was sort of, I don't want to say last minute, but I wasn't sure. And then Marlon's like, "Hey, man, you can room with me. Just get here." And I bought I got a plane ticket very late in the process, and that's how that
Mookie every night.
I know we should try to do something, but Mike, listen, let's
we'll combine it.
Moynihan does a great event with the YouTube. Yeah, we'll just steal that.
Yeah, we'll just crash that. In fact, we'll put the details on here when it gets closer, so everybody knows where to go.
But we got to do some Mensch merch and give some stuff away. That's something.
Mensch merch.
Mensch merch. So
Menschmerch.com.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know what kind of Mensch merch do people want. Shirts.
We can. I mean, there's stickers. There's poker chips. I mean, you name it. It can be done.
John, I haven't fit in a pair of Nikes since 1987. I'm a New Balance guy. Yes, I have one shirt.
I have. Listen, I have way too many sneakers, man. I think I posted one.
Warren says, "Sure, hat."
Yeah, hats are kind of cool. I'm a hat and sneaker guy. Like I've got, I don't know. So I know how many hats I got. I counted them the other day. 74, 75. I got rid of some. I have to get rid of some that I'm not gonna ever wear that ever.
Baseball themed dreidels.
Sign Menoris. You sign one side, I'll sign the.
I love getting coasters from collectors. You know what?
You know, I've done
With
coasters. I don't know if I have
our
any
chat room.
near me. I've done coasters. I'm using these now because these were sent to me by a fan of the show of sport. These are pretty cool. These are the actual wrappers, and they shellacked them, and so I use these.
You also chewed the gum out of there, right?
Back in the day, but not really. See, I've told this story before. I got my cavities, but I was a soda-holic, so I got my cavities from soda. But what I would do is all my buddies wanted the gum, so I would trade them the gum and get more cards. That's how I built my early collection of cards, was getting rid of my gum and
Thank
taking
you,
all
Ruben.
these cards. Yeah, no, you just get Jab's family. Don't get me started. I already got
no. We're definitely a horizontal card. We are not a vertical card. We are a horizontal card.
A totem pole. Like one of us will be on the other shoulders.
Right.
Like, what's that game in the pool you play where you get on someone's shoulders?
Right. Chicken fight or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but been many moons since I've done that.
I'd rather have breaker cards. Thanks, Mike. Those cards, I'm in. We should do cards.
We'll figure something out. We'll figure something. You know, Topps used to do custom cards where you could go to the site, order them. I have them. They're over there. I used to make one every year for Sports Card Nation. Then they stopped doing it. So there are other companies that are not like card companies that do custom cards. So maybe you'll see, you know, a dual-sided Mensch card. That would be kind of cool. I know. Listen, I don't. Let's give credit where I know. Dylan and Adam did one for their show, which was very cool. That one would be hard to top. I don't think we can, but
Dylan, I keep it near me just to remember.
Let me see. I don't know if I got that one. Let me see it.
It's personal. I can't share it.
Okay.
He talks about you in his. He wrote a note and he talks about you.
Yeah. Maybe there'll be a Mensch dual-sided card. So
if
we'll sign them. I have signed stuff before. I don't view myself as a celebrity, so I always think it's kind of odd, but I'll do it.
Barry wants to know how he can get an autographed John rookie card. I don't know. I'll let John answer that. John, how would one of you get your rookie card?
I had some when I played in Little League. I don't know where the heck those things.
If we find one, maybe I can deliver it for them or something.
I don't even have one anymore of those. When you play Little League and they make those team set cards. I think it got thrown out in a move at some point or another. It's too bad, but or maybe everyone else threw them out after the Veritek home run.
That's very funny.
So, I have show card, for in support of the show. Sometimes I'll mail them out. I don't even know what I have left. I have to look in that box. But we did a hobby hotline set a couple years back. That was actually pretty well received, and it's right. We're in the card hobby, so you got to have sort of a.
I got to mention it. Evidently, it's hit Twitter. That remember that case of Opeachy hockey that was won at the auction.
Yeah.
Evidently, the winner has not paid or is trying to return the cards.
For you're saying the Gretzky rookie case?
Yeah.
What did it go for? $3.2 million?
$3.72 million. And
now the buyer's not paid yet?
That's somebody just sent me a text of this is what live
don't you have to don't you have to pay like pretty quick? Like that thing's you have to be vetted that you can pay
Well,
$3.72 million. Like I couldn't be vetted to make that purchase. Not yet. I'm working on that. I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like how does that not get paid? And how has that gone on
I
this
want to read. I
long?
want to find out all
How
the details before I
yeah,
start a rumor on something. But
yeah, that's
that.
I find that kind of crazy.
Speaking of Mensches, hello,
Hey
what's up,
Jeremy.
Jeremy Lee?
Who
Um,
has been on Menches. He's a honorable
he's an
mensch.
honorary Mensch, absolutely. Well, he's a real Mensch, but he's an honorary card
No,
Mensch.
but you know, for the show
Yeah.
wise, I mean, technically, I'm only half of one.
Well, you're a full Mensch.
Yeah.
Um,
Is I don't know how that way. If that's true, I don't know how that happens.
yeah, I'm curious about that. If anybody else has seen that, I just got 3 texts in a row on it. I was worried something was happening in my
What
home.
is? Man, I don't have any texts about that, so you can see where I rank. But where, man, what do you do in that case? Do you go to the backup bidder? And what was that bid? Do they even want to do that? How much money will they lose? Was the
I
backup bidder like 2.7, and then they're taking $1 million, like I don't want to say a loss, but in a sense,
or is it
loss.
almost the same amount? And who knows? That's crazy if it's true. I
And
don't want
why? Like,
to.
what's the there's so many like tentacles to this. Why are you bailing on your bid?
Yeah, I'm hesitant to, since
Is
I
it a
already brought
mega
it up.
bid? Is it a mega bid situation?
Ooh, ooh.
Uh,
Is it? I guess
but
it's
it
not.
isn't. It isn't because
I guess
it's
it's
the
not.
only
Yeah.
it's the only existing case, right? As far as that's why it went for so much. Like, there's no another case of 79 OPG hockey that I'm aware of, and that's what they were advertising that as, like the only one.
Uh, here, wait. Look, the power of technology. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
Jeremy Lee was the underbidder.
I'm just saying, you start talking about it, and then Jeremy Lee said hello. I don't know. Connect on the dots you want. Like Jeremy knows I'm kidding with him.
All right. So you tell me.
Yeah, that's not right, man. You can change your mind. The bid's not. It's not optional. Like, oh, you know what? Never mind. Listen, I'm taking business law right now. Like that's a binding contract. Now, can you enforce it? I mean, that's a whole nother show. But like, you know, like when you bid, it is in small print there. It says this is, if your bid is the high bid, you are contractually obligated to pay for your item. Like I changed my mind. I'm gonna tell
That
that to
guy.
my wife later. I'm gonna tell that to my wife later. After 24, I changed my mind.
Yeah,
I
too
still have my
late.
receipt. It is too late. Like I want to know when did it, like that auction. What was it, a couple months ago or 6 weeks ago? It's not like it just ended in the buy. So like, how does that go on for this long and without them collecting payment?
Uh,
How were we just?
Jeremy says he bid, he won, and now he doesn't want to honor the contract. Remember what happened to Sports Card Therapist when he did the same thing? Yeah.
Yeah, like that's not right. That's why it says anytime, like whenever you sign up or you agree to, like, it says like if you're the high bidder, you're obligated to pay for your item.
Steven, I tried. Make sure you have the receipt.
That's why I only have one kid, and he's not a kid anymore. He's 24 years old.
Did someone say there's hats available?
I have 74. What if you like the Mets, Syracuse Orange, Pittsburgh Steelers, and there's some hobby ones in there,
I think it's
and
Mensch merch. That's
New York Rangers and New York Rangers. Those are typically my hats.
I think we should we should get some Mensch merch, but I don't want to make money on it. Maybe we
Do
can
people
crowd.
want to? Here's all joking aside. I know we make fun of ourselves and we're self-depreciating. I don't know. Do I want to walk around with a picture of John Newman and Danny Black on my hat? I don't, or shirt or sticker. I might be able to pull off.
I'm insulted by that question.
I threw myself under the same bus, so we're under there together. We're under there together.
I mean, we do a show. That's pretty self-indulgent.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but I'm sort of half kidding actually.
Imagine out kicking your coverage and running with the ball for over 30 years. I'm at 20 years, so
Yeah, Herman's been married. He's talking about himself. He's been
yeah,
married
I know.
30 years, Herman. God bless him, man. I'm still hey Herman, I'm married 25. I'm every day I go to the mailbox. I'm not checking for cards. I'm waiting. I'm looking for an invitation to the White House for being married 25 years.
I like Ruben's idea. Donate the proceeds from the merch sales.
I like that. I'm a charitable guy, philanthropic. I don't have any issues with that. I'm a Make-A-Wish supporter, full disclosure. So, when you're a dad and you're fortunate to have a healthy kid and others aren't, it hits home. And so, when I was in my heyday of softball playing, and commissioner of the league I was in, we would do an annual softball tournament with proceeds going to them. So definitely, I like that for sure. Tax credits, right? I love my CPA. I'm not gonna lie. I love my.
I think we need to clarify if we make cards, John, that the enclosed material is guaranteed men worn material, not from a specific show.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear. Let's do the Panini thing, and I'll just put on we'll do a show where we each wear 20 shirts. We'll just wear 20 shirts, and we'll make make show worn stuff from the 20 shirts.
Oh no, Ruben! If you have an hour, we can answer this.
I'll answer this real quick without making it an hour. I actually played ASA and USSA, not U-Trip, but more ASA, which we call the blue shirts, and U-Trip was called the red shirts. So I played both, but more the blue shirts, which is ASA.
Herman,
never fast pitch. I was signed up one year to play fast pitch, also known as modified, and we didn't get enough players, so we never fielded the team.
Herman says he feels like he's in this chat alone. We touched on that before. There's several chat rooms. Fast pitch. No tidy whities on our cards, please don't worry. And THA card story. Way late evening all.
Yeah, you don't want any underwear cards.
You
definitely don't want any underwear.
Wow, we're already at 53. That was flying by on me.
Yeah. Well, listen,
you guys are the best.
I guess
you guys are absolutely the best. This made my night.
Yeah, you never know where the show's going to go, right? We start off with one thing. We're talking about the National. We're talking about Strongsville. We're talking about Tidy Whities, merch and Mensch, and who knows what else, right? And I guess that's the fun of the whole thing at the end.
Are you laughing at this?
So yeah, I still play, but not nearly as much. I used to play 4 or 5 nights a week, and it's funny because when I started dating my wife, wasn't obviously my wife yet, and very early on, I said, "Listen, I play a ton of softball, just so you know." And she was like, "I love softball. Can I come to some of your games?" I'm like, "You're more than welcome." What I'm telling you is I'm not cutting down on my playing. You're more than welcome to attend, but that's I enjoy.
So do we now fast forward to where you don't play much softball anymore?
I play usually one night a week in season, and sometimes two if I get asked to sub in another league. So, And I will tell you this, in my younger days, playing on those 4 or 5 nights, didn't feel nothing, right? Good to go. Not so much anymore. If I play on Monday, I'm still walking around gingerly on Thursday. So
We started on marketplaces, and now Ruben wants to know if you want to buy some bats.
no,
Ruben,
I still have some.
But I love the fact that Ruben's just selling stuff in the chat room.
Well, this is a market. Put this on the marketplace list.
Yeah, Ruben, what else you got? I
Menches.
want to know what else he has. Let's sell something for Ruben. What position did you play? Barry wants to know.
I started out my younger days at short. Then as I got a little bit older, I moved over to third. And as I got a little bit older, I went to first. So now I still play. Now I still play third or first.
Ruben also has batting practice balls, John.
He's apparently been in my garage.
Mookie says tonight I learned John should trade hats for underwear on Veriswap.
No, I got a lot of both for whatever weird reason. Does everyone? How about this for a question? Favorite underwear? Like we obviously all have underwear. Well, I shouldn't say all.
It's a boxer brief.
Commando.
Boxer brief.
I have both, but what I'm saying is, do you have underwear? You're like, man, I'm saving that for Saturday and Sunday because I really like those.
I have all the same brand, same color.
Really? That's boring.
I don't have to worry. I don't have to make those decisions of which color, which day.
Yeah. Then Commando, yeah. I've never done that.
Ruben, were you also mentioning you were looking for a roommate at the National? I'm just saying that
he's a veteran Commando. 2000.
I'm just saying that there might be a correlation between not having a roommate and being Commando.
Listen. Let's be glad I'm not in Depends. I'm getting close to that. And I joke with my son, like, I change your diapers. Will you change mine? That's the question, Jordan. And he's like, nope.
Herman, I'm putting the link in for you so you can jump over real quick.
So
Ruben says it has nothing to do with the cleanliness of his body.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but you always worry, like guys. You go number one, and like I don't want to word this, and not ruin this. If you're not wearing underwear, you don't have that buffer to block a drop or two. If you know what I mean.
John, Barry wants to know if there's a button he can hit to change the topic, and I'm going to press that button. I would like to press. We're pressing.
All right. I didn't start it. In my defense, I might have kept it going, but I didn't open the door. I just walked through the door. So I'm what you would call an accomplice, but I wasn't the mastermind. I just went in on the deal.
Herman's found the chat.
All right, there he is.
Welcome, Herman.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. We'll come up with something for the National. I mean, hey, listen, we're about at like 100 days. We're doing the countdown. I think it's about 100 days away, and then there's another Dylan.
I am moving on from this. If you would like to,
I think we have our next show topic, though.
I think if anybody would like to rewatch this and read the chat room, you're welcome to. I'm not going to delete it. I'm also not going to talk about everybody's underwear the rest of the show. How's that?
If you search underwear in like the podcast search terms, will this show come up? That's another question for you.
Ruben, genuinely hope I see you next week as well. Larry, glad you made it.
Just in time for underwear, our segment called Underwear Talk.
That was the last segment.
We just started it this week. It's obviously a bigger hit than we thought it was going to be, so maybe we'll just incorporate it every week. I'm kidding.
John, Before we head out, you had a guest on Sports Card Nation today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, episode came
Jan
out.
Lorber,
Yep.
Stadium Insurance. Listen, I have collectibles insurance. It's not through Stadium at this point, but any insurance, right? But Stadium Insurance, you can get a homeowner's policy and a rider, but Geico, Farmers, Allstate, they don't know cards, right? This is insurance geared strictly to cards. They will pay what the current value is. So what I love about it is, like we talked about on the show today, let's say you buy a card for $25 3 years ago, and it's worth 5,000 now, and something happens, fire, theft, they will pay not what you paid, the $25. They will cover the value of the card. So, I mean, what more can you ask for? God forbid you have a homeowner's rider, and you tell them I lost my 1948 Leaf Jackie Robinson. They're going to be like, okay, what do you think it's worth? And then you tell them what you think it's worth, and they're going to come up with some lower figure and fight you. And so if you get any if you own cards of significance, or you're mailing or receiving cards of significance, this kind of insurance covers to and fro from your house and to your house. And you got to do it. And as with me doing bulk subbing, Danny, as you know, for SGC, some of these packages I'm mailing out and then receiving back in graded form are six figures. They're not even my cards, right? And so I have to have coverage for them, and it's very affordable. It's not. I think sometimes people think it's expensive, and it's not what you think. And so they're a great sponsor. Check them out, and so if you have any sort of inventory, or you mail or receive cards of significance, really should have it.
And I'll give a shout out to the Sports Card Nation podcast interview. Definitely check.
Here's a good question. I know we're coming down to the wire here. If all your cards are raw, how do they determine that? Well, if it's a significant card, you should have a picture of it, and then they'll determine sort of a raw comp based on your condition. It's a little trickier, I will admit. It's a little trickier than if your card was obviously graded, which
there are ways to comp raw cards.
There is. It's easier to comp a graded card for sure, no doubt. But raw cards, just like when we're buying them, right? We should comp them what we want to pay and what we think the value, or what we think we can get it for, right? The same way insurance company are. And one thing with Stadium, it's run by, Dan's a collector himself. So he's very familiar with the lingo, the landscape, type 1 photos, raw cards, graded cards, non-sports, all that stuff was covered. If you listen to the episode, he talked about the process. It's not as daunting as you think. A 5-10 minute video, you can just video your collection or the bigger parts of it, and that's all you really need to do.
Thanks.
Yeah, and stuff like that. I know I speak for Danny. My door's always open. You can message me, email me, call me. My number's out there for public. I get some weird calls sometimes, but
I was gonna say, don't call. Just
no, you can call. Yeah. You can call me. But if you're trying to tell me my Nigerian uncle died in a plane crash, I'm not accepting those calls. But if you have a legitimate hobby question where I can help you, that's I'm a pay it forward, ambassador, advocate, all that good stuff. So it's important, right? You hear these horror stories. I just read an article where someone broke into a house because they knew there was an expensive card collection there. Even growing up, even when my son was younger and in school, I would tell him, don't go to school and say, hey, my dad has this or my dad has that. And, don't advertise it all the time. Sometimes I'm even posting stuff, I feel funny, but at least you have insurance, right? Worst case scenario. So
All right. Well, we hit overtime a little bit, but it was for a worthy cause. Thank you for the questions, and we say it every show, but the best chat room in the hobby, without a doubt. And without you guys, we're just two blubbering idiots. With you guys, we're just two blubbering idiots.
I was gonna say, what's the difference? But all right.
but at least we get to share it. So that I appreciate that.
No, I look forward to the chat room as much, and I really mean this, and I don't want to speak for you, Dan. I look forward to the chat room as much as the show, like the combined. Every time we do this, every other week, and it's fun. And I always say it, if someone has half as much fun as we do, I think that's pretty good. And we do have the best chat room, and we appreciate it, right? Without you guys, we'd be talking to ourselves. So I do that anyway in my alone time, but that's not as much fun as talking with you guys. So
nice. Thank you, everybody. Very nice. See,
show.
next show socks. We do need socks. I mean,
What do you call it if you don't wear socks?
Giveaways. My feet are fine. I just
if you don't wear socks, what at all? What is that called? Like going commandos for the underwear. Like if you're a person that doesn't wear socks.
say goodnight, John.
No, I want to know. No, all right. Don't wear socks with sandals, though. That's a
no.
All right.
Yeah, we can all agree on that.
On that
Say
note,
say goodnight, John.
good night, John.